Well, hey, and welcome to another episode of Beetle Dustino coming at you again today. Boy, I've been coming at you a lot of todays this week, and there's yet more to come at the end of the week. It's a busy, busy week, and it's a Paul McCartney week. And we're going to talk about the first of the new Paul McCartney physical media issues today on this one, just as it just came out yesterday. I'm sorry, I can never get them the day of. It happens. It happens. But anyways, let's see what that's all about after the intro. Yes, as you're seeing it today, it's November 5th, but yesterday, November 4th, 2025, this released Wings, the Story of a Band on the Run, written by Paul McCartney and edited with an intro by Ted Widmer. This is the U.S. edition, which was published by Live Right, W.W. Norton. The illustration on the cover here, which will be different than the UK one, as I'll put the UK one up here now. But we're talking about the US one, and the illustration here is by Alex Truecoat, something like that. The UK edition is published by Alan Lane. I'll have that image back up here. And Penguin. And the photo on the cover is Linda McCartney. Linda McCartney is credited to that photo. So, anyways, let's take a look at this and kind of see what we got here. I've been kind of curious. It sounds like it was going to be what it is. And I kind of harped on this cover a little bit, that I didn't like the US cover. Now that I've got it in hand and seeing it, it's actually pretty cool. And I don't know how well it'll come out on the camera there, but it is kind of embossed and everything, and there's a lot of, the main part of it is matte, but there is a lot of spot varnishing, kind of this glossy, so the wings is spot varnished, and you'll see kind of little things on the different album titles and stuff, and different little things like that. Those are the high gloss. The bust there, a couple of the little hearts. I'll show you the spine here, and it carries on, the spine, the back here and everything is like that. So it's really kind of cool. I'll let you kind of take a look there at this. And it turns out it's kind of a timeline of Wings, basically. I haven't looked at a lot of it yet. I'll kind of open it up here. And I'm going to take the slipcover off. I'm going to just kind of show it to you here. I got to show you with the slipcover off too, because it's just as cool without the slipcover on. And there, that is there. Kind of hold that. Nice picture of Paul, and that's like super glossy spot varnish. The picture of Paul there. But let's take this off and take a little look at it, kind of naked here, I guess. With this really cool pink with blue, shiny blue metallic print on it. Really kind of cool. There's the spine with the cover off, and the back. Yeah, with all the band members there, all the different Wings members. Really cool. I'll show you now the pictures on the inside here, without the cover there. And I'll kind of just break down a little. I haven't looked at it too hard yet, but I kind of glanced at it. It's on a real thin, almost like newspaper type paper. A great one of Denny and Paul and Linda there. And let's just kind of take a look at a few of the pages here and the contents. Let's look at that. So it breaks down into a few parts. You got the foreword from Paul McCartney. Ted Widmer does the editor's introduction. Then as part 1 is 1969 to 1971. Part 2 is 71 to 73. Part 3, 73 to 75. Part 4, 75 to 78. And then part 5 is 78 to 81. And then there's an epilogue. Nice picture of Paul there. I'm not going to show you that other. I'm going to kind of show more of the image stuff. I mean, you want to see what's in the book, go get a copy of the book. I'm just telling you kind of what is there and what you're kind of going to expect here. And show you a couple of cool little things that I noticed with it. So there we go. I like this too. They start part 1, McCartney, with the McCartney kind of script there. There was something else I had seen. Let me see if I can find that. Oh yeah, I skipped it already. That's why. This was really kind of cool with all the different wings fonts here. I think that's really cool. And that does play into the different chapters too, which is really kind of cool. As we'll go here, the different parts. I'll just kind of skip to those. So we got McCartney part 1. And yeah, it just basically breaks down what he was doing there with McCartney. And I think the singles, Ram, I just got to there. They got some pictures in here. It's all black and white stuff. But here's part 2, and start with Wildlife there on the album cover. So the 71 to 73, and got a kind of a different wings, which is very associated with Wildlife. That wings image there. And yeah, just kind of breaking down the timeline again on what was going on in that time. I'll get it to the next part here. Great picture of Denny and Paul and Linda there, and kind of the next wings font there. Now, it isn't all just black and white, as I think before I get to the next part, we get it kind of broken up into a little segment here. And they got this kind of thicker, glossier color pages kind of in the middle here. I'll show you these images on these pages here. There's not a lot of them, but we'll just go through them kind of quick. Just kind of show what's in there. A lot of stuff from the videos and stuff, it seems like, from what I was looking at with kind of glancing through this, just still images from the video stuff, or stuff that kind of taken out of the, like, I think the Polaroids there out of Band on the Run. Stuff like that. Here's some more. Kind of the next pages there. And this isn't the only photos in there. There's other photos, but they're all just that black and white on that kind of newspaper print page, where these are nice, thick, glossy pages on these with the color images. And kind of the next ones here. And this looks to be the last page. So there's an example of what the other photos are looking like there. So that's a good one to kind of break it down there. So there's plenty of that spread throughout. Paul and Chet Atkins there is really cool. And let's see, we'll get to the next part here. So part 4, there we go. And another font on the wings there, which is cool. I kind of like the play on all of this. So we got start with At the Speed of Sound for this one. Kind of moving on. I see London Town. I just flip by and get to the next part here. That's a really fun picture there. So part 5, 78 to 81, and yet another kind of wings logo there. And now we're into Back to the Egg, and it does get into, yeah, the final flight. And it talks about the albums, the singles, the tours, everything is in here. The recording. There's a nice picture of John here. I'm going to bring that back. That's a really nice picture of John. I really like that. Sitting in JFK Airport, I believe, in 1968, it says there. And my book, I gotta say, we'll see. I can never get your name right off the top of my head. I can picture it in I can't say it though. But yeah, I know you've never got luck with Amazon. I can't blame Amazon on this. This is not Amazon that I can blame. But my book is a little, here's this here today. So it does get into, you know, I think a lot on what affected Paul after John's death there. And this is really cool. Now, getting kind of the next part here. We got the band biographies here. Another Wings font there, and some great pictures of all of them there. I think this is, oh, and then not too long there, and we got the discography, which is really cool. It goes through all the discography of Wings. It also gets into, and I can't show you much on it, the gigography. Is that a term? I've never heard that up until I saw this, which is really cool. However, literally starting at this page, I don't know if you can see, it looks a little kind of rough there on the top. The pages aren't cut right. It's just, and it literally starts with the page on the gig part here. This one I can open up somewhat, but it doesn't open all the way. And eventually I can't even hardly, and it's just at the top. And it's definitely a manufacturer's issue, so it's not that Amazon screwed something up. But yeah, like, look at that one there. Just barely. It's even just past the halfway point there, and I can't even get that open. So watch out. I ordered mine through Amazon, obviously. I'm sure a lot of other people are ordering online. Your copy might kind of come like this. I'm not going to send it back. I'm going to say that right now. I'm going to get out the old trusty pen knife that everybody's so afraid that I'm going to cut my vinyl or whatever with. I'm going to get that out and just very carefully go each page and just kind of just slice it where it is. I'm not too worried about, the top pages are a little rough cut there, because it appears that it hasn't affected anything else really. It's just that the page won't open, and it's just there at that top part. And if I just gently kind of cut that, I think it should be fine, where I can see it. But I kind of cracked up when I realized it literally, it's about 30 pages are like this. I think is what I kind of figured out there, kind of looking at it before I came down to film here. But yeah, after the gigography, we basically just get into the kind of the credits and everything of the book and all that. Yeah, it's really nice. I'm really happy how nice this turned out. Let me put the slipcover back on so we can talk about it like that. Even though I do like that pink and blue on that, but this does look a lot cooler than what I thought. So I kind of take back any of my moaning and groaning. I actually think this might be the better cover now that I've seen it in hand here. However, I would like to see the other version, just to kind of see if they did any kind of fun little, doodads and everything with the spot varnishing and the, all that. And it's got all the album titles and everything there and so forth and so on. Really kind of cool. Now, it kind of reminds me, I know another book, I've never shown this on my channel. I do got a copy of this one. I've shown the first edition of this. I haven't shown the second part, volume 2. I kind of a collection update with this too. I've had this for a couple of months. I saw it on Amazon for $15-16, and I'm like, well, I better get that. Finally, I've been kind of dragging my feet. I know it wasn't super expensive to begin with. However, complaining about Amazon, when I got my first copy of this is my second copy I've owned. When I got the first copy of this one, it had like the whole front here was like something stained all over it. And it was all over. It looked like someone was dripping on it, like some sort of water. I looked at the box, like, was it sitting out on the porch too long and, it was raining or something? And no, it wasn't. The box was perfectly fine. It clearly was sitting like that in the warehouse, and they packaged up a damaged book in the warehouse. And that's part of why I'm not returning this one, because the process that you got to go through nowadays to return stuff to Amazon, it's not terrible, but it's not fun either. So I think I can fix this. That clearly water damage was not fixable on this one. So, but yeah, it's kind of similar to that with the timeline in that I haven't got to read these yet. I'm petrified of it. I'm dyslexic, so book reading is not especially, all these pages and tiny lettering in this. I know I'm going to get to it one of these days, and I know I'm going to totally enjoy it when I get to it. It's just going to take me a long time. This looks a little more manageable. The letters, not much bigger, but they're definitely bigger. And yeah, not as, so I got a feeling this one I'm going to be sitting and, browsing through and reading a lot quicker. But I love physical media though, even though I don't always do great with books, but I'll get to it. But, I absolutely love physical media, and this is kind of the start of the week for the physical media on this, because this isn't going to be the first thing on this. Obviously, this is kind of a multi-tiered release on this with Wings. So the book here, the story of the band on the run, and then obviously at the end of the week, so this is Tuesday, this came out Friday, we're getting just what's called Wings, the self-titled compilation. That's coming out Friday, November 7th, with all the different packages on that. The 1 CD, 1 LP version, the 2 CD, 3 LP versions, so forth and so on, and all the different packages you can get with that. And honestly, I've been listening to it already. I haven't got a sneak preview or anything, but they told you what track list it was, so I just built up a playlist in my Apple Music, and I've been listening to that with the masterings and that, which probably would be pretty much what's sitting on Apple Music anyway. But I put together, you know, in order on the track, and I've been listening to it. I know everybody was kind of complaining, like, oh, this isn't needed. And yeah, is it really needed? I don't know. It's always fun to have a new compilation and, you know, stuff like that, and just a new way to kind of listen to the songs. And I think they've done some really good song selection on it. So I've been really satisfied with what I've been hearing so far. I've listened to it a couple of times now. I'm almost to the end of the 2-disc again. I just listen as I'm going to and from in my car to work. So, but yeah, I think with how good this book is looking, how good the music's sounding, at least I don't know how the packages are going to look. I'm really excited for Friday to see how everything's going to turn out with that. You know, because I just love physical media, and I love, you know, yeah, I'm listening to it streaming right now, and you got one kind of aspect of it, but physical media lovers love touching it and love seeing how you know, the package kind of fits together, and, you know, how nice the artwork is on the inside, and, you know, the information that you can get out of it and everything. So yeah, that's pretty much what we got going on kind of the next wave. And then the third wave, there's kind of 3 waves to this, is going to be the Man on the Run film, which is coming out on February 25th of 2026 on Amazon Prime, directed by Morgan Neville, brought to us by MGM Studios in association with MPL and Polygram Entertainment. I think I got everything out there, but yes, that will be coming out, and I think that image is from the Out There, why do I keep saying Out There? The Got Back tour. Because I remember seeing that before the show started. You know, I can't remember, my picture that I snapped of the stage had that up there, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is, because I couldn't find a true poster of it yet. But that will be coming to Amazon Prime on February 25th, and I can't wait to watch that. I always love a good documentary. I know people are going to complain about it. I'm sure there's going to be something wrong with it, but they're going to complain about the compilation too. They might complain about the book. I don't know. I like the book. It's great. I love the colors on it. I can't believe how this bland, boring looking cover turned out to pop and look so great in person. So, wow, good job on that. The art team and everything on that. So anyways, I don't want to make this too long. I just kind of wanted to show you a quick little view of the book and kind of what we're looking at. Go out and get yourself a copy. I think they're about, it says $45 in the US. On the inside here, I think mine shipped for $40, I think is what I got charged from Amazon. I think that's going to be about a pretty common, where did this show the price again there? Oh, there we go. Yeah, it shows USA 45, Canada 60. I think you're going to find a few dollars off at least to start out. But yeah, there's the book. Go get yourself a copy if you haven't got one yet. And that's kind of what it's about. And stay tuned. Hopefully Saturday. I'm not going to guarantee a Friday on that. I might have at least one on hand on Friday, but Saturday for sure you'll see at least the first video of at least the 1LP version, and the Target exclusive 1LP version. So I will definitely have that in hand by Friday and be showing it on my channel here on Saturday. And hopefully Paul McCartney's store gets their stuff out quick. Then I'll get my 3LP deluxe box and the colored vinyl version there ready to show on that. And I ordered my 2 CD through them too, because that wasn't available on Amazon right away. So I was like, okay, is this going to be a store exclusive too or whatever? So I was just like, I already paying for the shipping, I might as well throw it in. And I did eventually break down and get the Blu-ray too when they did reissue that, because that sold out almost day one, that Blu-ray, and then a few days later it was available again. So I did pick up a copy of that. So I've got pretty much every version of it that you can imagine coming on that compilation there. So anyways, I'm getting long-winded on this, but I just kind of want to get you a little preview of what the week's got to bring. And there's more than just Paul McCartney and Wings this week too. We also got Jimi Hendrix, we got Brian Wilson, and George Harrison. George Harrison's finally getting his stuff out. I think it was supposed to be out like 2 weeks ago, but it's finally coming out this week. So hopefully everything will ship good, and throughout the week you'll be seeing a new video pretty much every day on all those releases. So there we go. So this is kind of the start of my week on it, and we'll see how it goes. All right, but I am going to get fully wrapping up. Before I do that, though, once again, I want to thank all my subscribers and thanks to any new subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And do hit the notification bell so you know when I got new videos coming out. Also, please give the video a like if you liked it. And like I always say, if you stuck around to this point, you must like it. So please give it a like and do leave a comment. I love having a discussion with everybody. Let me know your thoughts on Wings, the story of the band on the run. Did you get a copy? Are you planning to get a copy? Or how are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on the cover here? Did you finally get yours in hand? And is it much better than what I was kind of dreading when those original pictures came out online? Just let me know your thoughts on all that in the comments below. Any of those comments do help the video out and kind of get it out there in the algorithm. So please leave a comment and definitely give a like. All right, I am going to get fully signing out though now. I'm Beetle Dustino, signing out.